Today we're gonna look at the two most requested things that you guys sent me in over and over again, which you want to see if it's possible or how to recreate them in Fortnite Creative. The first one being the bloody spike traps from 12 Hours video, and the second one being the broken building wall from Callum, which was pretty popular on Reddit. So without further ado, let's see if they're possible and how to make them. So is it possible to do the bloody traps from 12 Hours video? So first of all, it is not possible to obviously fully splash a character like that in Fortnite. That is obviously not possible, but we can create some blood while the traps are hitting us. And as you can see, if we walk into this trap, we are bleeding now and we're losing blood, and it also stops the blood. The system method is actually fairly simple. All you need is a trap, you need a mutator zone, and also you need your blood effects, and you also need a trigger device. Fairly simple. The blood effects, I will show them on the screen right now. You can find them also on the VFX, a website from Spanky Sully. The only important thing when it comes down to the channels in this device is obviously that you put in the correct channels. Spawn at player and remove from player when receiving from. These are the two channels that you want to use. So you want to use channel 1 on the first one, or channel 2 on the second one. And you're going to do obviously the same thing with the other blood try. So this one is like one which leaves the blood on the floor and also bleeds on the body. You want to do the same channels here on these two as well. For the trigger device, it is a very simple system. This one is basically going to allow us that we only bleed for 5 seconds. So we're going to have the delay. So you can see the only things that we need to change here is the delay, 5 seconds. And we're going to have the trigger when receiving from on channel 1 and when triggered transmit on channel 2. That means as soon as we walk into this mutator zone, we're going to send a signal that we're going to bleed. So we're actually not going to bleed from the trap, but from the mutator zone. And then after 5 seconds, this channel gets triggered and removes the blood from our body. What I would recommend doing is not what I did here, because people can obviously fake out traps and so they will still bleed even though they just walk into the zone, which you kind of want to avoid. So I would recommend maybe just doing it like this way. You make the zone a little bit smaller, so something like, so make sure that the mutator zone is inside the zone where people 100% are gonna get hit by the spikes. And obviously, and also for the channels in the mutator zone, obviously you only need to do one channel, which is on player entering channel 1, and that will basically then allow you to attach the blood effects to the player when getting damaged. So as you can see, you can try to fake the trap out. It would not give me the effects. If I actually go too far into the trap, you can see that I'm gonna get damaged and I'm start bleeding. But keep in mind, if you do blood in your maps, you cannot get these maps featured, or in Discovery, I think. They both tie into the same thing. So you can only do that for yourself, for your friends, have fun with it, but you cannot use it in like official like Fortnite creative stuff. And here we are. As you can see, one of these is real and one is not. But as you can see, it's possible to do, but a lot of people ask how to do it and which kind of props you actually have to use for this one. And these are the two galleries that you have to use. This one is the indoor residential prop gallery, and this one is the outdoor residential prop gallery. In the outdoor gallery, you're gonna have all the wood pieces that you're ever gonna need for this one. And in the indoor gallery, we're gonna use these little props here, these I think cups, as the bolts for our wall. So there's one last thing which you're not gonna find in these galleries, and these are ropes. If you find different ropes, you're completely free to do that. However, I use ropes actually from two different galleries, which are these two over here. So you can use both of them. I mainly use this small one over here, but you can obviously freely use this one as well if you like the style a little bit more. And this one can be found in the newest gallery, which is the Bunny Burbs prop gallery and wall gallery. The small one you can find in the prop gallery. I think it's down here, and the bigger one is down here in the walls gallery. So to recreate this, I started out by using this first piece over here. We're going to use that for our like kind of outside besides the top here. So we're going to place them like this, and you're wondering probably why we're going to use 3 pieces instead of just one large one. The reason is actually pretty simple. If I have smaller pieces, it's pretty easy to have custom destruction. So for example, if I want to just break this part over here, and if I destroy this large one, then obviously the entire lower thing disappears. And if I have it split up in like 3 pieces like this, I can only destroy this one and walk through here, for example. For the two sides, I use the same piece here, but this time I stretch it fully out. So you can see that the top piece here is a little bit bigger than the rest. So we're going to use this piece over here because it has kind of like the same colors. And we're going to do the same thing here, stretch it out as big as possible this time. All right, we already have the main frame and it looks already pretty convincing. I know it does not look perfect, but in the heat of a moment, I think people would not recognize that this is a like completely custom built wall. From here on, you can basically go full custom and do whatever you want. I cannot really tell you what you kind of need for your map. So all you have to do is basically repeat the same step over and over again with different pieces. So for example, we can use this one for the first piece over here. So we're gonna do the same trick here, but this one obviously has a little bit of a weird shape for this kind of wall. So we want to flatten it a little bit first before we actually use it in the wall, or you even mix and match it with other pieces. I think that is completely now on you and how you want to create it. Remember, if you want to have parts that break, make sure that they're smaller so you can actually have like a little hole that forms inside of this. So for example, this is the first half of your custom wall that you created, and now you want to create these like little like side pieces here, and for that we're going to use these ones over here. These are just perfect to create these. They're small, they just look like them. And then we're going to need these bolts here. As already said, we're going to use this little cup here from the indoor prop gallery. We're going to scale that prop obviously down, and then we can rotate it a little bit. And as easy as that, you create the first part of your custom wall. Now all you have to do is just copy and paste the whole process over and over again. And once your wall is done, it should look something like this, and you can start breaking the pieces that are inside of here. I think it's a really cool thing to create, really custom, and Calm did a really good job showing that on Reddit, and hopefully he shows more of this cool stuff so we can try to rebuild it in the future. And that wraps it all up for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, hopefully you learned something, and I'm also going to stream every single day on Twitch now. At least I try to. It's going to be hard at the beginning, but hopefully I can bring myself to. I really want to, be a little bit more active on Twitch, and yeah, I try how that turns out. We're going to start on Sunday with that one, and yeah, link in the description or on screen or something, and bye.